Hello, welcome to the very first episode of the Bricked BIOS podcast. I am your host today, and my name is Jacob. I am here with my four other colleagues. Josh, say hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Our wonderful George, say hello.
What's up?
And Tim, say hello.
Hello.
And then our beautiful sound engineer, Isaac.
Hello, my beautiful people. Sexy.
Sexy voice. Well, thank you for tuning in to this very first episode. We are a gaming and technology focused podcast that we're going to be talking about. So we'll get into that pretty soon. Just want to kind of meet everybody. If you guys want to talk about yourselves a little bit, kind of what you bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of have a background in IT and technology, and so we're going to try to do our best to bring our expertise to the conversation and just have a good time while doing it.
Expertise, because it's kind of a stretch, but we'll go with it.
I think I kind of agree on Josh here, and we all know a little bit of everything, so.
And we bring a wide
Everything.
range.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
A
lot.
bit of
ages.
everything.
All right, we go from 100 to 2.
I'm the old one. All right.
Yeah, if any of the viewers know, he was pointing at Tim.
All right, well, let's get right into this podcast. We're going to start off with our first segment going about gaming, and I think the biggest news in gaming recently has been Battlefield 6 and then also the release trailer of Call of Duty, and just want to get some thoughts on
Have you even watched the trailer for Battlefield?
for Call of Duty.
Call of Duty?
I watched it multiple times.
It hasn't even interested me.
I think I've only heard like the meme comments that are on the trailer, like this game made me pre-order BF6.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. That's
honestly, the game, it looks very similar, in my opinion, to like the Black Ops 3. Do you guys remember that game? Like, the zombies was good. Like, they did that
But like the whole like
multiplayer.
wall running.
Yeah,
it's not boots on the ground anymore.
No, they're adding back like the wall running and like the double jumps kind of thing.
Okay.
And then on top of that, they did like the story trailer, and it was all kind of like a psychological thrill. Like,
I think they're kind of going with what they did with like Black Ops 6, one of those, like, you know, those special missions they kind of threw in with like the zombies when you go down in the KGB area and it's all kind of twisting your mind. And then like the whole final level where you're in that woman's mind game. Honestly, can we talk, did we like any of that coming from Battlefield 6?
Like did we like it in Battlefield 3? No.
No,
Like,
not
that
Battlefield
was
6.
that was
I'm
probably
talking
Call of
about,
Duty,
I'm
you
talking about Black, yeah. I'm talking about Black Ops 6.
Black Ops 6.
Did we enjoy those special missions in Black Ops 6?
I only got through like the first
Not
couple
gonna
of
lie,
missions,
with
'cause
any new Call of Duty, I've not played a single story mode.
Yeah.
Literally, it's because one of my friends tells me, "Hey, let's hop on Black Ops or Call of Duty," and I just buy the game just to play the multiplayer.
Well, and this last Black Ops 6 was the first one that you could get through Game Pass, so you didn't have to actually buy the game. So that was the only reason I downloaded it, so that because my friends were playing it like regularly, and so I just hopped on to play multiplayer. I mean, at first it was okay. It wasn't bad. It felt kind of like going back to that Cold War, like. So you had Modern Warfare that was a little bit different.
It was the end of the Cold War because it was early 90s, so that was the setting.
But I'm saying like the actual feel of the game. So you had the Infinity Ward games that had more of that slower, more methodical multiplayer, tactical gameplay. It wasn't like crazy like Battlefield or like Rainbow Six, but it was slower than Call of Duty had been. Mm-hmm. And then Black Ops Cold War came out and it was a little bit faster, a little bit like more arcadey. It was less physics.
It's
more
definitely.
It was a run and gun. Definitely a run and gun.
And it's like they abandoned that Modern Warfare style after, I guess, 3. But like by the time Black Ops 6 came out, it was just straight back to that.
Well, because
Black
remember
Ops
they started doing
style.
that Omni running movement.
the
whatever,
Omni
and
movement.
that made the gameplay so much faster.
What was it? You got Palpatined?
Oh yeah, that's what I called it. Whenever somebody would like
Jump
prone at you and then
just
spin
spin
360.
and then shoot you.
Yeah,
One thing I've
the
noticed,
shotguns particularly.
One thing I've noticed with the recent Black Ops 2 is I feel like the zombies element of it is nowhere near from its
like original creation.
Yeah, in original creation.
Black Ops 3, I think, was like the best zombies that
I just watched the trailer and
I'm
I'm like, I'm not buying that.
No, I'm not. Especially when you put it next to the Battlefield 6 trailer. And the other one, I watched somebody point out in the Black Ops 7 trailer, when they're doing like the multiplayer and they're killing people, all the NPCs or like the AI are just standing still. So they're going around corners and killing enemies that are just not moving at all.
Yeah.
In the Battlefield one, they're actually like coming fighting back, and I don't know.
Which Black Ops was it that had the fixer? That was
that Battle?
Those were
was that Black
great
Ops 3?
Yeah.
trailers and commercials for Black Ops.
Oh yeah,
The fixer back in the day. Oh yeah. Now I will say Black Ops 6, I played the story, and the story was fun, and how they incorporated the zombies.
As far
into
as those
the story.
special missions, though, because from the sounds of it, Black Ops 7 is going to lean more into those.
Yeah.
Than
So
regular.
I did like the storyline and playing it, and I mean, being ancient and all that. It goes back to the wars that took place when I was a little kid. All right, back in the early 90s.
So, like,
You mean World War
the
I?
Neapolitan Wars, or
Just fact checked. The fixture was Cold War.
Was it Cold War?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that did that
I
before.
thought it was long before Cold War.
I
I
was
was
gonna
going to say it was
say-
like Black Ops 4.
And then-
Those trailers felt like they were like a callback almost. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw-
Yeah.
well, I think they were because how much they lost their audience already.
Well,
So
it's
they're
because
like, hey, look,
Black
we
Ops
still know what
Cold
we're
War
doing.
was like one of them because they didn't release a Black Ops in a long time. So Cold War was one of those ones that they released and had to kind of push it out.
I also have a theory, and this may be kind of controversial, but I have a feeling that EA and Activision are working together in this whole deal because whenever Battlefield has a really bad slump, that's when Call of Duty comes back with a good game because 2042 came out around the same time that like the Modern Warfare Warzone was all happening, right? But then Battlefield 1 had come out when Infinite Warfare was coming out, you know, and so Battlefield 1 was the better
So
game.
you're
in that
thinking
one.
one
And
game
now,
has to release bad games, so the other one can win.
they're working together,
Yeah.
so that Battlefield will release a good game and get all the money, so that and then Call of Duty is going to be bad, but then the next go around, Battlefield's going to be horrible, so that whenever the Call of Duty comes out, then they get to make all the money and they get to go back and forth, and it's like this. It's got to be some kind of strange deal that they're doing. Okay, I can't prove it,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's real.
It's like the one guy from Dexter where you just know, but you can't actually prove it.
Have you been seeing those memes about that? Just to talk about that a little bit, where it's like when you know your friend's cheating,
Or you know your buddy pre-ordered Battlefield 6, but you just can't prove it yet.
yeah. And then also on the
I do
topic
not
of
have
BF7,
the-
where you
oh.
guys added where they were
BF7?
saying, or Black Ops 7.
It's so bad that they're like Battlefield
Yeah.
and Black Ops.
It's
It
so
used to be
close.
Modern Warfare, or it would be just Call of Duty.
I mean, we could-
but now you have Battlefield and Black Ops 7.
It's hard to
and-
say Call of Duty 7 because
Yeah, and
there's
I want to say like Battlefield 7 or Black Ops 6, and it's
Yeah.
it's
This one is 7 degrees of BO.
Well, one thing I wanted to see is how they translate the wall running and all that stuff over to Warzone too. And seeing how that goes.
so.
they're
Oh,
still
that
gonna
was the
do
other
Warzone.
update, Jacob. I don't know if you want to get into that, but
As far as the what?
so with Black Ops 7, they're not going to be, or I don't know what the extent is, but with Black Ops 7, they're moving away from Warzone 2. So from like all those skins that you had Black Ops 6, they're going to stay in Warzone, but Black Ops 7 apparently is going to be
Its own thing.
Its own thing, and they're going to try to keep away from it.
Yeah, I
because
saw
of
that thing the other day of like,
that they've been getting.
oh, we see that you're tired of these dumb skins. and
Forbes.
We're
posted
sorry.
an
We're going to do it new.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they're gonna try
They're
to
going to go
like,
right
start
back
a
to
new-
Fortnite.
I give it a month.
Yeah.
Forbes posted an article that Black Ops 7 will make the BO6 players leave their silly skins behind. Is what they posted.
Yeah.
Which I think that makes sense, but
It'll start
I
out
feel
that
like
way.
I feel like they made way too much money off of those random
Did you
skins.
see at the end of the trailer the skin packs that you can already get? You
Yeah.
got like robots and cyborgs.
Yeah,
and-
it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not going to last
I feel
long.
like let's move on to BF6 and how much better it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Yes.
all
7.
played the beta. I mean, what were the thoughts of the beta for BF6?
I need bigger maps.
Yeah,
One thing
bigger
that-
maps would be more fun.
bigger maps. Obviously, one thing I did notice when I first launched the game, and then I know Jacob also noticed it. It was kind of buggy
Oh yeah, it
at
was
the very
crazy
beginning,
buggy.
but that's what you expect from a beta. Like I had to verify files on that game like 3 times, but
I
That
had
was
I don't know
I
what
had
problems
one.
you guys had. I never had one
never-
problem.
Yeah,
I
I
had
had
the-
issues going into weekend 2. Now, and also have to clarify, you have an NVIDIA system, right?
Yes.
And we all have AMD,
yes,
and
I
that can
had
make a
the-
difference.
The invisible gun, where the gun would just disappear, no matter what gun, and just all guns would disappear. And I did look up through Battlefield 6 threads, because they were having their threads.
Oh,
and that
I had that happen to me
That was
one
a
time.
common
I did have
error
that
a
happen
lot of
once.
people were having, and I heard
Yeah.
there's some issues with like people actually able to launch the game. Like some stuff, it would just go black and nothing would launch.
I remember.
But as soon as I died and spawned back in, it was
See,
fixed.
I never had that.
yeah, I
Mine would
remember.
just
Yeah, I would have the
stay.
same issue as that, where my gun would disappear, but if I died or if I like switched the weapons, it
My
would
hand
happen
was right
again.
there holding nothing. And it,
See, my gun would disappear. It would never come back. And then after the match ended, my game would crash and I'd have to relaunch it or re-download.
But
Yeah,
I
I
know
never had
this,
that.
the second week that they did release, I feel like they might have done a patch because I did not notice
Yeah.
anything after that.
Yeah, the second week was
other
a
than the
lot
queue
better.
was ridiculous.
I don't
What
think
was
it's
the
that
highest queue you ever saw?
bad. I was on day 1 and it was like 200,000.
I saw 900,000
I think
one time.
What?
And then you just sat there for 5 minutes and then finally
it
got
was
in.
not a long queue.
Yeah, I feel
Like,
like-
you could sit there for like 1 minute sometimes, and it would just kick you in.
I
That's
feel
it.
like
I wanna
EA
say-
did a good job on that, making their
good
servers open and then so allowing more players to
A
play.
lot better than when Star Wars did their remake of Battlefield 1.
Did
or
you guys
Battlefront
get
1
into
too.
any of the vehicles, like the flying vehicles?
Yeah.
I
Yes,
did
I
all
did.
except for the jet.
George is not a good pilot. He's
I-
the worst pilot I've ever seen.
It's different than like the other games. They've got a whole new system. It feels
Yeah, it
more
feels
like
way
Battlefront
different.
2.
Yeah.
Except now you have like the physics of actually being pulled
Yeah,
down
the
to the
jet.
ground.
The jet was one I was able to figure out, but the helicopter, I hope they have training grounds because I went
That-
back. I went back to I installed Battlefield 4 and went to the training grounds on there, and I'm like, man, I am not that bad at flying a helicopter. I'm making sure. Start flying the helicopter. I'm doing all my maneuvers. I'm like, all right, how can I match these controls up to be the same in the other game? And so I tried, but I was never able to get back in a helicopter.
So
Yeah.
that's something that we want to add. Like they want to make sure that they have going forward in Battlefield 6 is they need training.
They
or
need a training
like,
ground
practice,
for the vehicles.
open-
and
like,
stuff.
One thing
Yeah.
I did notice,
sandbox.
because I don't know if you guys play on controller. I know Tim does.
Yep.
I played
But
mouse
I
and
normally
keyboard.
play mouse and keyboard, but when I do get in a vehicle, I notice that playing on controller is a lot easier.
Yeah,
than
they
on
need
mouse
to
and keyboard.
probably reevaluate. Like if you are playing on mouse and keyboard, then the controls need to be different for just to even make it
Yeah.
usable. Because if
I
I don't
s-
have a controller,
Yeah,
I'm swiping across my
Yeah.
desk
So
trying
if you
to
can't
get
tell,
the thing to tilt.
audience, we prefer Battlefield 6.
Well, I didn't even. Did anybody even look at the Black Ops 7 beta? Because they did have one.
They
They
did.
They did.
They did. They did. It was a beta. It was like the.
How big was the queue?
I don't.
We
know.
weren't cool enough to get
I don't
invited.
pull it up, but yeah, Black Ops 7 had a beta.
Yeah. Speak on the topic
Black
of
Ops 6, you mean.
BF6.
Or it was 7.
On the
Black Ops
topic of
7, yeah.
BF6, what was your guys' class?
Engineer. I loved Engineer, blowing things up. Okay, no. Black Ops 7 beta will take place
Oh, is it not out
from October 2nd to October 8th.
No one's gonna be playing that
Okay,
because
well,
BF6 is already.
Are you guys
launched.
gonna get? I'll get on if you guys want to try Black Ops 7.
I could try it.
You get one if you can do a pre-order.
Oh no, I'm not
No.
gonna.
I'm trying to see.
Does Game
Drops?
Pass? Would Game Pass count?
They'll probably do Game Pass. As far
But
as
if it's not something that's free, like how BF6 did it, then I'm probably not gonna play it. Because I know why EA did the open beta for people is because they didn't have good reception for Battlefield 2042. So
Yeah.
And 5.
So this is
Yeah.
on Call of
Yeah.
Duty Black
But
Ops
5
7.
was actually not bad.
I feel like
It
a lot of
was
people didn't like the
unremarkable.
story.
Well,
The story wasn't even that. You could get into a multiplayer game, but it wasn't good. Like the maps
talking about
were
BF5?
not.
Yeah,
Battlefield
Oh, okay. yeah.
5.
BF5. The problem with BF5 is on release there was nothing to the game. They promised all these game modes, like they had their battle royale coming
Yeah.
out, they had all this coming out, but the problem was on day one release
They
there
did
was
not have
nothing. There was only two factions. You only had Germany and Britain, and it was only fighting in Europe. So we never got like an African campaign.
Or a Pacific.
We didn't
You
get a
did
Pacific
eventually.
campaign,
You did
but it was like
eventually,
later.
but
it was
later.
later.
But yeah, but you already lost your audience by then.
Yeah.
You know,
The only reason I
they're
got that
gone.
game is because like after a month, I think it was already on sale for $30.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the trend has been with those two games because a lot of EA does with like 2042. You could say the same thing as well
Yeah, that's what they did.
because they
too
promised
on
a
that.
lot of stuff.
Except it didn't even have a scoreboard to begin with.
Did
That was
did
the first thing
ever
I
come?
checked when I hopped into Battlefield 6 and I got on the beta is I made sure the scoreboard worked.
Did they have a scoreboard?
Did they ever add that or just
Yeah,
they
it-
did.
Yeah,
they
there was
did.
a scoreboard.
That was like one of the first things.
The
but-
problem is 2042. I felt like it died so fast that there was really not much.
Well, they overhyped. They oversold what it was gonna be capable of doing with the environment changing and all that, and you just have the tornado.
My
right?
problem is
They didn't really
they
do anything.
oversold it, but they didn't even do the bare minimum.
Do
Yeah.
you think they'll bring back 128 player lobbies?
It really depends if they make bigger maps
Because-
because I know the player count for the current maps they had were perfect.
They were 32 or
but
no,
they-
16,
it was
16, wasn't it?
It was like
no, I think
32,
I think on
32.
the big one, didn't they do 64 player map
Yeah, but it was 32 each.
on Liberation Peak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was 32 each.
But I feel like if they bring in bigger maps, I feel like they should
'Cause-
do one of those bigger
Oh, no,
lobbies.
128.
That's
That-
what they did in
be a little
Battlefield
insane.
2042, but that was the problem. It wasn't. They added these 124 or 128 players, but it didn't really make a big difference. And in fact, it made games like slower, and you didn't really see anybody in these huge maps, and
Yeah.
it wasn't as good.
Like,
I don't know if it was more due to the fact that the maps weren't as good.
Battlefield 1 is still awesome.
Yeah, I would say Battlefield 1 had massive maps and never had a problem with it.
They need to bring back operations. That needs to happen.
I did hear that is coming back. They're going to bring back operations for like I don't think they showed them, but they said that is coming back, and you're going to go from like map to map.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that will be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's two things that really caught my attention with Battlefield 6. One of them was the fact that they're trying to introduce community made content and maybe like greenlighting some of them to be more like officially recognized and recommended ones. But like they're trying to, I think I saw a number, they were trying to, towards the entirety of Battlefield 6's lifetime, they wanted to have 100 million players after a certain period of time. So if they include the community made content, I'm pretty sure they can reach close to that if people are really creative. They get the right tools to do what they need to do.
I think they were smart showing like the Halo Reach meat grinder.
Yeah, I was going to say they're still.
6.
It looks like they're still going with the Battlefield Portal kind of thing that they introduced in 2042. With players are able to get in, create their own custom matches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think because 2042 didn't do very well, we didn't get to see a lot out of Portal.
Yeah,
because nobody was really there.
2042 was like awesome in concept, but it just didn't pay off. It was
well,
like I said,
hoverboard
I
going
still
90
think it's a
degrees
conspiracy.
It's like,
I swear it's a conspiracy. Somebody's got.
I don't know why EA likes to do it, but like they like to make a bad launch and then make a really good game towards the end of the life. But like by the time they're at the end of the life, no one's playing the game anymore.
The only reason why Battlefront 2 did good was because they handed it over to the community.
Yeah, and then they took out the microtransactions.
Yeah,
well,
that was the first thing they did, and then they released everything, which improved their player count. But it wasn't until they handed it over to the community to move forward with.
Do you remember
what really made Battlefront 2 be really awesome?
Do you remember how bad that launch was? Like when you first launched that game back when it first came out, it was rough.
Yeah.
You couldn't get any heroes.
No, if you had a hero, you owned the entire map.
One guy who did all the calculations to determine how long it would take you to unlock every single character or something like that. And it was stupid. Like,
I heard Darth Vader was like a grind to get.
Yeah, and he was one of the most powerful characters. And the fact that you could just buy I mean, that was when loot boxes were like prevalent, and I'm glad that's ended, but that was the whole thing, and that was bad.
That was almost like the tipping point for loot boxes. Battlefront 2.
It was.
And then because people were already having problems with like Overwatch having issues with it, and Halo did
5.
it. And
yeah, Halo 5 did it pretty bad. Mm-hmm. Although theirs wasn't quite to the extent like Battlefront 2 did, but it was the start of it.
The Halo 5's only worked in that Warzone game mode.
Yeah, the Warzone.
And all the armor. Remember, you had to unlock if you wanted.
Yeah,
to
but
get
armor
you
didn't
have
make
to.
a difference. The problem is that you could sit in multiplayer, grind for hours, and then you get all these packs.
Get the most amazing Scorpion, and then
100
use it in the wrong match, and you're gone in seconds. I've done that.
Okay, on the topic of Halo 5, did any of you guys have the Helios Grill armor?
Yes.
For completing all the campaigns on Legendary on the Master Chief Collection? No.
Halo 2 is too rough for me.
Me and my friend, we tried to do
Halo
it,
2
but we
is
only
rough
went
on
through
Legendary.
Halo 1 with a Legendary, and then once it went to Halo 2, it was rough.
Yeah, it gets rough.
Yeah.
Okay, on the topic of BF6, I know that we
Here we go. Circling back.
Let's take a step back. I know that we were glazing it a lot by how good it is compared to Black Ops 7. One thing I do want to mention is a lot of people were struggling with the secure boot, turning that on.
Oh,
well.
yes.
Isaac, I'm sure you have an opinion on that.
So what do you guys think?
Okay, so Jacob
wait.
Jacob lied at the beginning because he said that we all played the beta. I couldn't because I'm on Linux. Yes. And the only reason why it doesn't work
because the kernel level
is because the kernel anti-cheat, which I hate. I have strong opinions about it, but go ahead.
Honestly, explain why. Like, I understand the idea that they're now going to user level configuration, but like, what could they be doing instead?
So, okay, I'm not a game dev. I don't know what goes on for anti-cheat stuff, but I feel like if they were smart enough, they could make something server side that would work well rather than having everything be on everyone's computers, potentially like rootkitting people or adding backdoors or doing stuff like that. I hate the security implications of having kernel level anti-cheat and everyone's client.
One thing I don't like about the kernel level anti-cheat is like if that anti-cheat breaks, it can break your operating system as well.
See, the argument with this whole thing is that Ricochet didn't work at all, which is Call of Duty's Warzone, like the anti-cheat they were using. And it just did not work at all. And I don't know what was going on there. That was supposedly server level. And it just does not. Like I got in so many matches where it was just overrun with people that were exploiting or had aim bots, all kinds of stuff. It was just rough. And that was one of the big problems with Warzone. And it never really got better. I mean, at first it was bad. It was, from the very beginning of Warzone all the way until today, I don't think it's much better. If you hop in a Warzone match, you're still going to have a few people that are cheating.
Yeah, my dad always complains about it. It's like, how did he see me through that wall?
I was like, they don't even hide it at some games. I've seen a few where...
Just an honorable mention on that, Isaac's dad's cracked at Warzone.
Okay, so kind of go off topic of Call of Duties. I did want to talk about some other gaming news. Recently, No Man's Sky just got a huge update allowing players to build their own frigate. How would you call it? Or
like with your friends, you can make like a whole spaceship that
you can make your own spaceship and
you can walk around in it.
So they're stealing the idea from Starfield.
No, Star
Citizen. But I mean, have you seen these player creations? They already created a Boba Fett ship from Star Wars. They've already, I saw somebody flying around with that.
We should hop on and make the Pillar of Autumn.
I'm pretty sure someone's
probably already beat you to it.
That would be cool.
Like people are building really cool spaceships.
I feel like a lot of people complaining about them stealing from Star Citizen. I feel like that's kind of where the No Man's Sky wants to go. Is
Star Citizen still in beta? Like it's not actually released.
Yeah, and it's
been
super badly optimized.
Years though.
Well, that's just the way that PC games go now. It's just they stay in beta. Fortnite is still in beta.
No. Fortnite's out.
Did it finally release?
Fortnite has been out, and then they kind of gave up on Save the World.
I was gonna say,
you can still play Save the World. It's just
there's nothing to it.
Yeah, but they gave up the beta slogan, I think, after chapter 1.
They're saying it's going. Yeah. My thing though is No Man's Sky is a game that actually came out and is polished now that they can start doing these bigger updates.
Yeah. How old is that game?
Oh, it's like, what is it?
I think it came out in 2017.
I think it came out in 16 or was it 17?
Maybe 16.
But like I said on the topic of them stealing, I feel like that's kind of the step they want to go. It's their game. They have a space game. Why wouldn't you want to make?
Yeah, and I feel like it's hard to say, well, you can't do that because
I
feel
space
like game.
If you look at any space,
Starfield
when you think of any space theories, you're like, oh yeah, the people are going to build a ship. If someone builds a ship in real life, are they going to be like, yeah, they're copying Star Citizen?
No Man's Sky was August 9th, 2016.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Other news that also came out, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater came out as well, which I haven't played. I don't really know if anybody else here has.
No, what platform is that one on?
It's all platforms. It's all platforms.
It originally was.
It was PlayStation only.
I've been hearing from the streamers I've watched, from the YouTube videos I've watched. I heard it's really good. It really pays good homage to the old game.
Isn't it like basically a remaster of?
It's a remake of the 2004 Snake Eater.
Something like
yeah, and it's really good. It looks really good.
Those are all stealth games, aren't they? Though never really been my strong suit.
Yeah, all the Metal Gear games are stealth, but you don't have to do stealth, but you'll just get cooked.
Jacob, that's why you were terrible at Outlaw.
Jacob's gameplay style is just I go and I hit things.
I like to be energetic in my games.
See, that's why Assassin's Creed 3 is my favorite.
Because you don't have to really play the game; you just block and hit X right after. Parry and block. No. So yeah, that's in gaming news. I feel like the biggest thing was Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7. We've seen 2 games, No Man's Sky update and Metal Gear, but
Mafia also
everything
released.
Yeah, Mafia came out. Yeah. I heard it was kind of boring.
One thing because I did watch the whole game because I didn't want to buy it because I knew kind of what they were stepping into. When I was watching Angry Joe play, it was really boring. And then when I watched my other streamer that I like to watch play it, it still was really boring. One thing was like towards halfway
do a better job, guys.
Towards like halfway during they actually start going and shooting and doing other mafia stuff, it actually gets really interesting. And I felt like
I heard it was short though.
Yeah,
I've heard it was not a.
But they didn't charge full price for it. Is the thing too as well. But also during the end, I kind of 50% through the game towards the end was really interesting. But like the first half, can really lose the audience.
For the average player, how long would it take to reach that point, though? How many hours?
Honestly, I don't think it's a 10-hour game. I don't think it's like a 10-hour game. So it's probably like
that's short.
Because the streamer I watched, he normally streams for like 6 hours, but he's a bit slow. He beat it in 2 streams.
I think that was funny because I did watch Angry Joe play that one for a while, and he was playing that for like 2 or 3 hours, and then
he switched over to
Battlefield.
And I remember him saying, he was like, this is he's way pointier than the other game we were playing.
I think Battlefield 6 is going to do good when it comes out, and I'm really excited for October. I think a lot of games in October.
Has anyone pre-ordered?
No.
I
will not pre-order.
Have
as
you
much
not
as I
learned from Cyberpunk?
Or Battlefield
I learned that
2042.
one the hard way.
I think Jacob has secretly pre-ordered.
I have not pre-ordered. I did the Cyberpunk 2077 pre-order and never again.
Going back to Dexter, I'm looking at Jacob.
Never again. All right, so I think that'll kind of conclude our gaming segment. We're gonna move over to what's new in technology. A big release that just came out was the Google Pixel 10. They had the Google Pixel 10, the Pro 10 and XL and all that good stuff. Did anyone see anything about that? Watch the Google event?
It was pretty cringe, honestly. Like a lot of the speaking and the guests they had.
Jimmy Fallon.
I was not sure why they were there.
Why is that the trend of all these
I don't
companies?
know, but like Jimmy Fallon kind of seemed like he didn't know, or he didn't know the script. They didn't show him the script beforehand.
He was kind of just there though.
And then, yeah, he was just like, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool."
I think that goes back to when they had The Rock that was like
showing off
presenting
like
the original Xbox with Bill Gates.
And for the show, I feel like they didn't really show off their other products. I think they only focused really on the Google Pixel Pro XL?
Yeah, and they did a lot of AI. My problem with the Google event is it wasn't very techy. Like they didn't cover specs or anything like that.
No.
It was just gloss over here.
It was marketing speak for the majority of it, and then AI stuff. It's like, oh, AI can do this.
AI.
So what's new with Gemini? Is there going to do anything with it?
So
they're going to do live translation over the phone.
yeah,
So
that was neat.
And then they're doing the keeping your information so we can
through text messages.
Through text messages. So like if you book like a flight, it'll know you book a flight, so you can then text your friend that you booked a flight. But then
it'll, like,
I know I was talking
prompt
to
you.
Isaac about this, and now they're just clouding your data for all of that.
So they have a claim that, okay, so to kind of make that feature more clear, if you're texting someone and someone asks you a question like, hey, when was the event that we were going to? And so Gemini will actually look through your calendar and then give you a prompt saying, hey, this is what he's asking for. Then send it with one button click. Or when was the flight that we were going to take for this? It would go through your other apps and show like when you made this purchase or like when you got that email that got you the confirmation, and it'll send you that prompt saying, hey, this is what you're talking about. Here's the answer. And they claim that all of the information from all the apps that you use, that feature is going to stay local and secure. It's not going to go out to any servers.
Right.
I highly doubt that that's going to stay there.
It's only Google. It's only
It's only Google.
I mean, they all
as
do
well.
that.
Yeah, that part's also true. It's just like at
And
this
then
point, if
going-
you have a Samsung, Apple, or Google phone, which
Or if
Android
you
is
even
Google.
have the phone that Isaac has. I mean, China has the data now.
Yeah.
Going on
the
the top-
phone
go
that's
on
now
that
tossed in the corner right now because it keeps interfering with our sound.
But besides like the whole AI stuff that they have, like I said, they didn't really show off the phones, but one thing they're trying to be is like the Apple killer. I feel like they're trying to be like the Apple phone for Android.
Which, speaking of Apple killer, one of the biggest things that they did show off that I think most people are going to find more entertaining than the AI is they're bringing in MagSafe, which they're not calling it MagSafe. I'll look for what
Because
they're
they
calling it,
can't.
because
but
Apple already has MagSafe.
Well, MagSafe, the name for MagSafe is Apple.
Also-
but they're bringing in a version of
A
it, which I
similar
think is a
technology,
G2
yeah.
Mag,
And it's compatible.
and
with
it is
MagSafe.
compatible.
Now, is that going to work with the Fold phones as well?
I don't think so. I think
There's no way they could do that.
because a lot of the
yeah.
with the Fold, they have to compromise a lot of the extra features, like
Like in Samsung's case, the S Pen.
yeah, and the
Hey,
S Pen and
Apple
all
will
of that.
have its first foldable phone in
The
2026.
the QI2 magnetically attached
I don't think so.
Chi.
is what they're adding to.
Code
Yeah.
name V68.
but that's getting added. So
Yeah,
which I know we said it is compatible, so that means for iPhone users, because I know a lot of people that won't switch over because MagSafe is just they find it too useful.
I don't know
Now
anybody
that
that's like
Google's introducing
dead
that.
set on keeping an iPhone because of the Mag.
No.
Yeah, it's not that.
I never personally used the MagSafe, but you can always compromise with Samsung because how I switched over to Samsung, you can always get a case that has MagSafe
and then
on
just,
it.
yeah, because it still supports all
I
that
know a
wireless
lot of
stuff.
super thin cases because a lot of people like to keep the thinness of the phone. So I know a lot of super thin cases keep MagSafe.
Or you just run your phone naked.
Well,
That's
like
too scary.
Like how
Yeah.
my phone has no MagSafe, but like now I have MagSafe because of the case.
Which the case actually, if I'm looking at that is MagSafe, like the
That is the shape of it and everything.
Yeah.
It's
It's the shape of MagSafe, so
it's so.
It's MagSafe.
Somebody's getting
Must
sued
be
is what I'm saying.
MagSafe.
Must
If it's
be
shaped like
MagSafe.
MagSafe, looks like MagSafe.
Talks like MagSafe.
It
It must be
walks
MagSafe.
like MagSafe.
Speaking of trying to be like Apple, not only did they copy the MagSafe, but they also copied the price of Apple. the Pixel 10 Pro is
They
starting,
finally figured it out.
the Pixel 10 Pro is starting off at
How does Apple
$999.
keep doing it?
And then the Pro XL is starting out at
and
$1,199.
that's like base model lowest.
No. So the lowest one you can get is just the Pixel 10. And that one's starting at $799. So pretty much the same price formula as
I think the
I mean,
iPhone
just
Pro
to put it in
Max is only
perspective,
like.
guys, you guys think the phones are expensive? Like back in my day,
Oh, here we go.
All right, he did it. Back to my day.
I did.
Back in my day.
A Windows 95 computer was like $2,500.
Yeah.
And I mean, this thing has way more, thousands of times more processing speed than that 16 meg.
Okay.
Well, how much was $2,500 now?
A lot more.
Now? Oh yeah,
It's a lot more.
You're talking about probably
3% every year.
No, it's probably doubled, so about $5,000
Yeah.
in 30 years.
Yeah.
So you'd be spending $5,000 for that.
I guess you kind of have a point because you can build a PC at the same price as your phone and be better than that system.
Yeah.
Well, and the whole point of the phone is that it is that computer, but it is the compact.
and it's mobile.
And you can keep
I mean,
with
it can
you,
go with
and
you
yeah.
wherever. So it's, I mean,
One thing,
really, it's expensive when you're looking at
So-
your pocketbook, but
give me
it's still like for its usefulness.
Devices have
You're
definitely
running
gone
Samsung,
down,
right,
in
George?
price,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's still expensive.
So George is running a Samsung
From Apple.
You have what are you running? on, Jacob?
I'm running an iPhone 15 Pro Max.
I got an iPhone 15 Pro Max. So coming from somebody with Samsung, if you wanted to sell us on either the Google or your Samsung, what has gotten better on their side of things?
one thing I don't think I would convince you guys to get like a normal flagship model. Because for me, the reason why I switched is because I got the Fold. That's really the only thing that convinced me. Because when I wanted to switch, I wasn't just going to switch to the S25 Ultra or
Why
the
you
S26.
just wanted a bigger screen?
Yeah, I just wanted a bigger screen.
He wanted 3 times brain rot at the same time.
Yeah, because I can roll Instagram Reels, YouTube
man.
Reels, and then TikTok. But that's the main reason why I switched from Apple, because
China
figured-
knows all his info.
I figured that Apple wasn't going to make a Fold or any major changes in their phone at
2026.
all.
Honestly, I feel like Apple has not done really good on their innovation recently.
They never.
let's-
that's a
Well,
Not according to them.
No. I'm saying in the sense of like Apple has done some new stuff. Like I think the action button, which they did on the 15 Pro Max and the Pro, I really enjoyed the action button compared to just switch from mute, because now I actually have a button
Didn't
I can
Samsung
customize.
have that before though too?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe
The
they
one thing
Yeah.
I really did
Everything's
want to
delayed
switch
on Apple.
I did really want to switch from Apple before they pushed out that new new iOS 26 update. That
looks
liquid
bad.
glass is terrible. I hate
I
that.
have been running the iOS 26 beta for the past like month or two. It is ugly for me.
The camera
I
looks like it's so
dislike
much.
it.
It's not at all simplified. It's gotten like more difficult to like navigate.
Yes, for like
Especially
if you
wanna
do
use
want
all
to
the
get,
settings.
which I actually noted because I was looking at George's Fold. On George's Fold, they have an option to go into Pro Camera. It's an option that you can get Pro Camera, and it gives you pretty much all the settings that you'd get
Like on a
on
normal camera.
on a normal camera, like the
DSLR.
ISO, the shutter speed, and all that other good stuff. Whereas on iPhone, like it does kind
To
of. If
be
you do want
fair-
to take those more complicated photos, it does kind of make it a bit more.
To be
difficult.
fair, you can get an app that has similar
Blackmagic.
issues. Yeah, but this comes with that in stock.
I don't want to. To me, I don't feel like I want to download another camera app. Like, just give me the camera app.
But, like,
Well, and Blackmagic only does video. If you're talking about the Black,
you can take photos. You can take
yeah,
photos.
it's a night.
But back to the original question of you asking me if I could convince you. If you are in the market and you are willing to switch, because I'm not going to try to convince someone that wants to stay with Apple to switch to Samsung. But if you want to switch, like Jacob, I know wants to switch, I would try to tell him, yeah, you get more control. You can do a lot more with the settings, a lot more customization.
AI, I feel like, is a lot better.
I like the
Samsung.
touch or like the circle to search. That's really useful.
There's one killer feature, closing all tabs.
Yeah, the close all tabs.
I didn't realize how annoying that was until I looked at George's phone and was like messing with it, and
both
I noticed
on browser and on the tabs.
on Apple, if you swipe up from the bottom and you get to see all your apps that you have running, you have to individually swipe them away to close them. On Samsung or really any Android,
It's not a problem for me when you don't
just
have
close all.
50 things open.
So, sometimes I'll be doing a ton of things on my phone, or like at the end of the day, I'll just forget to close them, and I'll just go through Samsung close all feature. It's one button press,
So,
and it's
and
so much easier.
With iOS 26, has there been any updates to Apple's intelligence?
No,
AI.
Apple Intelligence is.
They still want you to
not
ask
very good.
ChatGPT. hey,
still
Siri, what's the
outsourcing.
weather? Do you want me to ask ChatGPT?
Yeah, I went
that multiple times. It's annoying.
I went into my accessibility on this new update and actually turned down the transparency. I think the whole. And my problem with the whole glass look is I feel like they're focusing way too hard on aesthetics and not fixing actual problems with the phone. Like Google or the Apple Intelligence is still not at the level
Yeah.
of what Samsung and Google's is.
Do you remember, like, was it last year or the year before where they were really pushing for gaming on iPhone?
Mm-hmm. And they did like Resident Evil 8. Who's playing Resident Evil on their iPhone? It's impressive.
Apparently
because
a lot in China, I think.
The chip is impressive and it's very powerful.
And it's able to
but
run that, yeah.
It is cool, but honestly, what are you doing on your phone?
It would be
Most people
more
need it.
useful to have all that power if they allowed like the community to add content, but they're really strict about it.
Yes.
Well, and
So-
I think they need to be more strict with. I think mobile gaming. I think
It's
it could
really
be a
big.
thing, but it's
really big in Asia, in the Asia parts of the world.
The Asia parts.
Oh, well,
Asia,
Asia
and
continent.
Korea,
It's like,
and
I know China has, I think the most popular game in the world is a mobile app.
No,
played
Russia's in
China.
Asia.
It is. But I know India is really big on mobile gaming. I mean, there's definitely a huge market for it. In the US, I don't think it's there.
Have you ever tried a mobile game on the fold?
I imagine it's
Pretty
really cool.
amazing.
Can
What about that fold right down the center?
Do you mean the crease?
Yeah, that crease right
You can
there.
barely feel it.
But can you see it?
Like when you have the screen on, though.
No.
Kind of a little bit off topic, and I kind of want to complain because Pixel did it. I am tired of like the base phone, like the Pixel. You get a ton of cool colors. You get this indigo blue. You got this frost white color. They have lemongrass, which is kind of like a yellow green. And then they have obviously black, but the blue and the green, and they have all these cool colors. But then you go to the flagship, and I feel like they just completely kill
it's
all
like
light
black,
in the
white,
phone.
and gray. Which one you want?
Yeah,
I
and
know.
they're just going,
I
metallic.
wish. That's one thing with Apple. I
You
wish
got
they had as well.
Moonstone, which is just gray. Because they do have a jade, which I think is cool, but then it's white and then obsidian.
Because Apple does the same thing as well. Because like they'll have all the really cool colors on their like base model phone. Then once you get to like the Pro, it's like all these
You want
weird
silver,
normal colors.
darker silver, black.
But you cover it up with whatever you buy for a case anyway. So
Yeah, but if I-
why
well,
get
what if I
something
want
that's
to run no
colored
case?
like that?
When I ran the iPhone 13,
You're not weird like me.
I had the product red for my iPhone 13, and I would run a clear case so I could show off my phone. And I know a lot of people like to run clear cases. That way they can see like their phone.
And then they get all nasty yellow over time.
Yeah,
Dirt.
doesn't look great.
Yeah.
It's bad.
But I know I remember going to school. There are a ton of people who like to run clear cases because of it.
One
But
thing
they all had the base phone.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
'Cause that's all they could
because that's-
afford.
well, but you get the cool colors. You get
Yeah.
the cool colors, and you can. And I think, and I know Nothing Phone. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
yeah.
I really like. I know there's going to be people that don't like the Nothing Phone design, but I think it's changing the market for phones, because I feel like if you look at like the Samsung Ultra, iPhone Pro Max, and
They
now
all
the
kind of have their
Google
own similar
Pixel
stuff.
Pro,
Yeah.
they all look the same. They have the same colors. It's just the camera bump.
Yeah.
The whole phones look, but I feel like you look at a Nothing Phone, and yes, it is very different. But I'm glad that we have somebody coming into this market and saying like, hey, a phone is a person. Your phone is your personality to this point. Everyone uses it. Like, show off being unique.
And then one thing is, it's also not as much as normal flagship phones.
They did just recently come out with their quote unquote flagship, which is not. If you're going to compare it to other flagships, it's not as good.
But I think it's only like $800 though.
Yeah, so it'd be like getting a base Pixel.
But
10.
the only thing I don't like about, now that I'm seeing it on his computer, is I don't like the camera bumps. The camera bumps
looks like
are just
R2D2
weird.
got turned into a phone.
Like the positioning of the camera bumps are not it, in my opinion.
Yeah, they definitely change with the iteration. Like, I think the best looking phone they have done so far has been the Nothing 2.
Yeah, with the light and all the camera. I think all the cameras were in the middle, right?
Yeah, the lights.
I don't like how they got rid of the lights, but they can do whatever they want.
I do miss the transparent aesthetic that they used to do.
Oh, that Nothing
because it looks neat. Like if you're a techie nerd and you want to see the insights, it's pretty cool to see all the traces and the components through the back of the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, do you guys kind of feel what I'm saying with the whole, like, all the new Ultra phones or like whatever
it's all
top
very
flagship?
Similar.
You put them all back to back. The only difference is the camera bump.
I feel like
the rest of it looks the same, especially the Ultra. Now that they've done rounded corners,
I feel like Google Pixel compared to Apple is very similar. Just like their body shape is similar. Almost where their camera bumps at is very similar as well.
You got your rectangle or your slightly more rounded rectangle.
And then that's one thing I do have a complaint about the Samsung. Sometimes it stabs into my thumb or to my palm.
Mm-hmm.
And then one thing I did want to talk about as well was we haven't touched on it a lot, but it was the Google Pixel 10 Fold.
The Fold.
They didn't touch on it during the video or during the whole launch, but they had like a little sneak peek at it.
Besides Jimmy Fallon hyping it up with like, I don't know, loud
they
claps
and
stuff.
Jimmy Fallon just goes, "That's cool."
They briefly touched on it and then they just put it down. I'm like, I wanted to know more. Like, I feel like a lot of
show
people
off your products.
I feel like a lot of people come to Android because of these cool innovations that they bring. But one thing is they did keep the same price, even though it's pretty good.
They made it bigger.
They made it bigger. They made it thinner. They made the hinge thinner. Because I know Samsung did go up in price a lot, $2,000 folding phone, and they kept it at that same price though. I think it's like $1,800, which is what they're at right now.
For folding, you are buying double the phone.
The other thing,
buying a tablet.
Well, basically. Yeah, but like I feel like a jump from 1,800, which were people were used to, and then this one was like I think mine was 2,100 because I got it with the 512 gigabyte storage.
The other thing that was really big that they
out a CPU usage.
did not even announce, well, they kind of covered it, but they showed off with the Fold. It's the first foldable with an IP68 dust and water resistance.
Oh yeah, that's really good too because mine's only IP48, which the Samsung.
Have you jumped in a pool with it yet?
No.
The dust I think was a big killer for a lot of folds because they get in the hinges and then you're not able to fold them all the way out. But supposedly the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is going to be the first foldable with IP68.
See, that was one of the reasons I didn't try to jump into the Fold when they first came out because I was like, I'm sure they're going to have some serious
part of the
issues.
Fold.
Yeah, I didn't want to be part of the Fold because I knew that the Fold was going to cause problems in the future.
We just had that dust storm last night, and if it was any older Fold, it would be dead within a few minutes.
Well, that's like who's outside in a dust storm though?
We live in Arizona. It's
gonna happen.
Well, yeah,
we get haboobs all the time. But that was pretty big. I didn't want to cover the IP68, which I think is pretty impressive. Once again, they didn't really cover it during their showcase, but it is something that is new.
Yeah, then you got to get better about doing these showcases. Well, and then showcases used to be like for tech people, and so it used to come out with all the specs. Now it's still
social
for media.
Tech, it's still for tech people. Most people who actually watch the events, I feel like, are tech people.
But they market it for
they market it for
the regular
consumers.
person.
Because I feel like
most people actually showing up and watching it.
Yeah.
Because then I think regular people are just going to wait for the tech people to just make
tell me what should I get?
Tell me what I should be looking
for. Or like
to.
people that are already loyal to the brand, they're going to just be like, well, I'm just going to get the next model that when I need to upgrade.
Yeah.
Speaking of phone events, Apple is going to be holding their event September 9th to showcase the next generation of Apple products. So they'll announce, the iPhone 17 probably another MacBook Air, iPad, because they did, now that they're doing iOS 26, so now we're actually
they were talking about maybe we'll see, but there's a rumor that they may come out with a thinner phone, guess, thinner than this guy.
You know, there has been a rumor going on for quite a bit that they are going to make a cheaper MacBook that's going to run the A series chip for ARM instead of the M series.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So it'll be running like the same chip that's in the iPhone for the MacBook.
But because
and that'll drop it like, I think they said it from the leaks, it might be like $500
$500 or $600.
yeah. So
and
so
since they already have like their whole software ecosystem around their chips, which is also ARM, they shouldn't have any problem with that. It's just cheaper, less powerful. But people who want to get into Apple could actually do that.
More of a good, better entry level.
Yeah,
especially if all you do is just go to Google or, you know, for Google Docs and stuff like that. So
Media
it'll probably
is
help a
another one
lot
that's
of
good.
students who don't
Yeah,
need
that could
really
be a
powerful.
good, instead of that. Yeah, I could see that, how that may be their play to try to break back into the school realm, the education realm, because Chromebook is just
I think the
owning
cheapest,
that realm.
The cheapest MacBook is the MacBook Air, and it's still, I think it's like $899.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that's expensive for somebody going to college. I know
Base
they do
model
like deals
too.
where it's like $100 off, but you know, if you get a laptop for $500 and all you really need it for is to, you know, write
Just
your
do online stuff.
do online stuff, that'll be a game changing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
And especially because if you already have an iPhone, well, you know, they tie in very well together.
Do you
Nothing
think we'll
against
see
that.
a sequel to the Vision Pro?
Probably.
That's another product that I would say Apple's innovation failed because there was no reason to do that.
No, I think they would come out to another Vision Pro. I just think they're taking a little while to do it because they have to compete with Meta, which is Meta's just killing the game right
the
now.
only really
Well, because Meta's focusing on gaming. I mean, I don't see, I mean, Tim, you're more of in management and all that. Do you see any reason why you would want to daily drive a Vision Pro for work?
No, not
Like,
yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Well,
I feel like
because of the price,
I
I
feel
say.
like
But-
since it's
but-
not for gaming, it's really inconvenient to wear around all the time.
Yeah, like
It would
the
be-
way Apple did it was like it's for work, and I feel like most people
It
do
would be
not need
pretty
that for
cool
work.
to have an AR system where you're sitting there and you remember the first Iron Man movie
Yes,
when he's working on that. Dude, that would be the office setup.
yeah,
that would be amazing.
The fact that it's like a heavy piece of plastic and metal and heat that
it
is
looks like
sitting
a
on your head,
scuba,
and
like a
sitting
snorkel.
Yeah.
with that for hours and hours and hours, it's not good.
Also,
Like,
it's like $3,000.
But what's going to happen is it's going to get smaller. I think what was it? Ray-Ban was already working on.
well, Ray-Ban
an
and
AR.
Meta have
it's
the
Ray-Ban
Meta
and Meta.
glasses.
Yes, the Meta glasses. So it's already going that route. So I see Apple probably going. They're hitting the gaming community, trying to. I see that happening to try to compete with Meta because that's a big community.
I feel like that's
But-
the major point of VR
Yeah.
at the current moment is just.
I think
just get the
AR is
gaming.
going to be more.
But
If they can get that to work, that'll be more of that workspace. If you
But
can have
yes,
that augmented reality.
AR is going to go more into the.
I think if you go the AR route, you'll have to have something slick like Meta glasses.
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna.
people don't want
you don't want to have a
goggles
bulky
on your face
setup. Yeah, something like the glasses.
And at that point, I
would be
think
pretty
the glasses and having like an actual maybe a controller, you know, so maybe more along the lines of like the Meta setup where, you know, that would work. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a single, like you have the glasses and then you can do whatever. But if you can connect mouse and keyboard to it or something, then you can just look and have all your screens in front of you.
that's going to be the next probably the next 10 years. That's going to be the next space is like how computers are going to integrate with these glasses. So you have MacBooks. I can see them already trying to integrate that, making that work. Meta doesn't have a computer, so what are they going to join in with?
They'll probably tie in with just Windows.
Yeah, that would be my guess because Google's going to do their own thing. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they integrate it with your workstations and how you can pull off like an AR. All right, I'm wearing the glasses and I want to pull my screen over here. And then plus I have my regular desktop screen. Then I pull off my screen over here.
Isaac, do you remember when Linus was on the Jimmy Fallon? Do you remember those glasses that he had shown?
Oh,
Did you
was
see
it the
those?
ones where you could see your display while also seeing regular things?
Yes.
I don't know if you
there's
can
a
see
few
regular
brands
things.
Well,
that.
like it was just like see.
It's
Like,
like-
you
I know
could
that
see-
technology
two
already
monitors.
exists. The problem is it's not being
It's just like a
published by one of these-
display.
Also,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a
It's
whole
not actually
cable running
interactable.
into
Though.
the-
So
I thought
the
it's just
current-
a
You could play
display.
games with a controller. It was
Yeah.
actually running, you know.
But also the glasses were like super bulky and there's a cable going into it.
Well, I thought the one that
I
he
can-
showcased though, it was like they would go from like transparent to not or whatever.
Yeah, so it would have that type of display where if it sends an electricity signal, it'll just black it out.
Wasn't Bad Bunny there?
Yes, for some reason. For some reason, Bad Bunny was there.
Well, it was on Jimmy Fallon.
So yeah, basically all those glasses are doing right now is projecting your phone display or whatever display it is connected to in front of you. And some of them incorporate the 3 degrees of freedom where you can rotate it and it stays in its place in virtual
but
space.
it's still not kind of like what Tim's talking about.
It's
where
not
you
like-
can
It's not there
grab
yet, no.
things
Yeah,
and
it's
move.
not taking into account like all 6 degrees of freedom where you can move around a room.
Yeah.
It's just rotating and seeing
Because
that there's a screen
there
in front
you
of
have to get into the sensor part of like how does it know what you're doing, the motions and everything.
If Meta would be able to move all the display technology to glasses, have a cable run down your back to like a puck or something or a backpack or something that takes the load off of your head, then they could probably manage something that's more comfortable. It's not going to be ideal though. It's kind of like the old-fashioned lightsabers that had a separate battery pack.
My thought is like even if it was, so it needs to just be smaller than the Meta Quest is right now, but it could be bigger than like your your Ray-Ban glasses or even like the goggles or something a little bit bigger. But as long as it's not super bulky and you could wear them for a long period of
and
time,
it's not like heat and generating on your
if they
face
could
and super
pull all
uncomfortable.
that
Well, and
into
I think
the-
battery life is a major thing right now. VR and
Yeah.
AR glasses, well, they just don't have the battery life.
It's like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, like you have the Meta 3.
Yeah, that's one thing I did want to touch on. I feel like the technology that's currently available is pretty cool because I have the Meta Quest 3s, which are like the pro version.
But
not
they
the
last
3S.
like 1 hour in AR mode. or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
because
Like,
they have to do the processing power of like everything in front of you and then like everything around you.
it's a lot of power.
So yeah, it requires a lot more power because there are games that you can play and like scan your house and do the AR mode only there, but you probably only get like an hour of gameplay because the AR mode is so intensive on
it's-
the
also the
the
cameras
chip.
they use are like super pixel. At least I don't know about on the 3, but I know with the 2 it was really bad. But you'd have
But
like,
the
so,
three-
the
the
three-
three is
the-
way
the
better.
Is it way
three
better?
is
Way
way
better.
I was
better.
gonna say you'd have like the really pixelated like
But
real
it's having
life,
to
and then like you
combine
have the
all
screens
those
that are like
images
super.
into one.
Yeah,
image that you
with
can
the 3
see.
they have like 3 different sensors now, and it is in color.
Mhm.
But it is a lot better. That's why they kind of went into the AR mode because they did incorporate better
quality
AR
cameras
quality
and stuff.
cameras. Yeah.
I'm just kind of afraid of having Meta like see all my house.
Yeah, well, you got.
They already know what your house looks like, Isaac. Don't worry
Yeah,
about that.
that's
one.
Dude,
one
if
thing-
you ever had lunch with Zuckerberg, he'd pull up your house in front of you and just be like, "Yeah, I know you got something in your kitchen over here. I've been watching you for like 3
That's
days."
one thing that's kind of weird to me because, like, if I go to Jacob's house because I've taken my Quest 3 over there, it'll remember the playing area that it was over there at Jacob's
Kinda
house.
creepy, yeah. Well, I did want to. I think that'll kind of wrap up a bit of our tech segment, and we'll kind of go into really towards our end. We're coming up to a close, so I think Tim, you had wanted to ask the question of what is everybody currently reading at the
I
moment?
don't read books.
Yeah, George doesn't know how to read. so
Yeah.
he's reading one fish, two fish, blue fish, red fish. Or
We,
something
we
like
saw
that.
we saw that last night that he didn't really know how to read certain words.
He has that book sitting on his desk.
The Darth Bane trilogy.
Yeah, the Darth Bane trilogy.
That's
I
a
just
good
haven't gotten
trilogy.
It's
around
been
to
there
it.
for
I'm on
like 2
book
months,
two.
and I keep bugging him about it. And every single time he's like,
Whose
"I'll read
book
it.
is
I'll
it?
read it. I'll read it."
It's
his.
mine.
Oh,
I
it is
bought
yours?
it. I
Yeah.
bought
You
it
bought
for
a book?
him.
Yeah. Bruh.
Dude,
I have a bookshelf.
full of
A
statues and
Yeah.
unrelated books.
That's my problem. I bought my bookshelf so that I could put my Legos on it, and then over time they start getting overtaken by my actual books.
Well, it's almost like it was purpose designed for that.
Yeah, that's weird. Who'd have thought put books on a bookshelf?
Crazy. To answer your question, Tim, though, I've been reading A Court of Thrones or something like that.
Court of Thorns and
A
Roses?
Court of no, the Throne of Glass.
Oh, the
I started
Sarah
with Throne of
Maas.
Glass. I'm like halfway through that book. I kind of got bored and I haven't picked it up in a while because I've also started recently gotten into comic books. And so DC's been doing a run called the Absolute Universe. And so I've been reading Absolute Batman and Superman. I picked up
And then he
all of
walked into Circle K and
Wonder
saw
Woman.
more comics and bought more.
One thing
comics are expensive,
switching
bro.
to
They're
the fold
rough.
has made me read a lot more comics because I am reading comics more than I read books.
That's kind of cool. Like if you could get the fold to like act like a.
Oh, no, it
slide
is.
it does
and you
does.
get 2 pages. Of,
But
yeah.
currently, I've been reading. I finished the Marvel Rival trilogy, or I haven't kept up to it. But I read up to the new season. But I've also been reading the Ultimate Spider-Man series back from 2004, and it is pretty cool. I like that series.
So I've been reading a lot of books, but because I do audiobooks, I do Kindle, and I will
Audiobooks
actually
isn't reading.
read books.
Yeah, audiobooks is not reading.
You're listening.
I have to.
We'll
if I
save
wanna
this
get to-
conversation for
because
another day.
I decided I was gonna do the Cosmere, so Brandon Sanderson. And I'm like, there's just a ton in that. So I started off with the first Mistborn book, and I finished Mistborn. It was really good, but then I went into Tress of the Emerald Sea. I finished that one through an audiobook. Now I'm doing Mistborn 2, and on the side I'm also listening to Warbreaker. And then after that, my plan is to do Mistborn 3 and then start the Stormlight Archive, which is the first one's A Way of Kings. And then I'll work my way through that. But also on the side, I've been reading like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And I also did the Audible Dungeon Crawler Carl because everybody kept recommending that.
I've heard that's been pretty funny.
You have to read that one you have to do that one in audiobook. Because if you get the actual book, they're like, it's super all over the place because he goes into a real life RPG video game. And so it's almost like you have a regular book and then every once in a while it'll be broken up by like, your new achievement dialogue box comes up and all this. And then there's different, they say the pages get really convoluted. But the guy who, I have to look up his name. I want to say it was Jeff Hayes. I can't remember. Is it Jeff Hayes that does the audiobook? I'm gonna look
Is
that
it
up.
one of those where they do the dramatization kind of it? Or?
It's not a dramatization, so it's only one person reading it. And
Okay.
yes, it is Jeff Hayes. He does the narration, but he does all these different voices. There are sound effects to a point, like they will modulate his voice depending on where it's come from. But other than that, it was interesting. I wouldn't say the book itself is like the greatest book I've ever read, but it was fun. If I had to say, like right now, my favorite book or series that I've read, and I haven't done Stormlight, I'm hoping that one's good, but I did just finish the first 3 of the Red Rising series, and those books were insanely good. I would say the argument for that one though is like the Red Rising is like Pierce Brown's magnum opus. That's his Stormlight what Stormlight Archive is to Brandon Sanderson, that's what Red Rising is to Pierce Brown. So right now, Red Rising is at the top. Like that was a really good series so far. I haven't read anything quite that good, but I'm hoping Stormlight is up there with it. So,
and then Isaac, have you been? Isaac doesn't read.
I'm kind of like George, where I don't read typically for fun, but I've been doing a chronological reading of the Bible. So now I'm on towards the end of Ezekiel, and we'll be approaching the New Testament soon. So that's where I'm at there, but otherwise I don't really read that much. Unless it's like tech articles or something to get information. I don't read for fun.
Okay, and then Tim.
So I just want to put a quick thing. When I introduced Tim to the Goodreads app, like a couple months ago, and within like a couple of days, he had like 300 books on he's already read. And then he has like I could pull it up, but it's like hundreds of books. So Tim does a lot of reading.
I do.
So
I do a lot of reading.
What have you been up to?
I just finished book 5 of the Robert Jordan Wheel of Time series. So I got that one knocked out. So I got to take a break every now and then. After
How do you
those
feel about
books.
that show getting canceled? I feel like that was the best one that Prime was doing.
I feel like it needed to be canceled, and the way to do it right would be to actually write it how, like, I know it has to be shortened and some things changed, but actually have the characters be who they are in the books, not try to change some of the storylines. So that's what ruined them.
Yeah. Oh, I saw some stuff about that because I was reading when that got canceled. That was a pretty big news for Amazon, but like apparently when they went into contracts with the actors, like they weren't very strict about stuff. And so they had some issues where some actors had to leave. They had to change the stories because main characters were having to drop out of them.
It was great that they changed Matt's actor. The first actor was not the Matt from the book. The second actor was much more along the lines of the Matt from the book. But they added in all these other things, like instead of them being kids who basically like just got out of high school, 18, 19, they made them like 25. Perrin had already been married. It was like Perrin.
Hey, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was 30 in high school.
It's true.
Dude,
but he did look young.
He didn't look young.
But I think that's what ruined it was they just added too much that like they lost their audience who really likes the series.
I think it was George who was telling me that because you know how HBO is about to come out with their new Harry Potter TV show.
Yeah.
That they've been doing some like when they're looking for people to cast, they're looking for people.
No, they've
who,
already casted the new actors. But now with the new actors that they've chosen, they don't want to have the situation that they had with Daniel Radcliffe, where by
he's
the third
just
movie,
typecast the whole time.
No, but by the third movie, he's like, he looks like he's 30 years old, even though he's supposed to be like a teenager.
Yeah.
So right now with the current cast, because they're about to remake it, or I don't know how they're going to do that, they're doing like bone aging tests
instead of a movie.
They're doing bone aging tests on the kids just to make sure that they're not going to grow too fast.
And then like
they're
looking at like how their parents
yeah,
are,
like
so
how their parents
see how
grew
tall
and
they
stuff.
might get.
Interesting.
That was
so
funny.
they're trying to be pretty authentic.
If you go back and watch, like, was it Deathly Hallows? Like, it's part 2 is where they like.
Which movie was it where they all just had long hair for no reason?
That was Goblet of Fire.
Oh, then was that the same movie where Hermione just kept gaslighting Ron? Or is that
yes? No. That was the Prisoner of Azkaban.
My favorite.
Okay,
poor Ron.
The entire thing. She
I
just
remember
gaslit
in the
Ron.
Deathly Hallows, there's that scene where they go back to Hogwarts, but they have to like they were writing the hippogriff, I think, and then just my brain is not working right now. They land back in the lake, and then they have to like sneak onto the grounds. Well, they get out of the lake and they're changing into their dry clothes, and like Harry and Ron are just like 30-something-year-old men with a full body hair. I was like, those are not 17-year-old kids.
I don't know. Did you see some kids back in high school?
Yeah,
Guys,
but
guys.
like,
But like in the
It
book,
was
he's portrayed
magic hair growth.
it was magic. That was like, that is the body of a 32-year-old man.
Well, when you think about this, it's like between all the movies, it's like a 4-year gap. So he's like a really little kid in the first movie,
Yeah,
and
that's
towards the end,
6
it looks
years,
like
I
a
think.
30-year-old man.
Dude has a mortgage already.
Yeah.
he probably
He
did.
did.
Dude had more money by the time he was 15 than we will have.
Probably in our entire life.
Hey, now that we're on the topics of movies and TV shows, one thing I wanted to ask you guys is, what do you guys think about Man of Steel being better in the box office than the new Superman?
Man of what?
Man of Steel made more
Man
money
of Steel.
than the new Superman movie did. And what's sad about that is new Superman had the advantage of it, like the inflation and all that, which may have also been the disadvantage. But I think that there's just I hate to say it, but I think superhero fatigue is a real thing right now.
It is.
I really
I'm tired of
I
it.
don't think it's superhero fatigue as much as streaming is now kind of more available.
No, because they brought it to streaming and still didn't do. I mean, it did well in the theaters, but like Fantastic Four hasn't come to streaming yet. And
Yeah,
it didn't do
Fantastic
good
Four
either.
didn't do well, but
That's
it
just
was
something
like
to be
it's all-
expected with Marvel,
like
though,
with
because they haven't been
Thunderbolts.
releasing
Like,
anything good.
I didn't watch Thunderbolts in theater, but the second it hit streaming, I went and watched it.
I still haven't watched that.
Because
one.
I heard Thunderbolts was good, but it wasn't a
Yeah.
movie that I was going to go out and watch. It's not like an end game. One thing with Superman, though, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people went to watch it because it hasn't been Man of Steel in the box office, but it's James Gunn's new iteration of Superman, so a lot of people had high hopes because
it's you're getting into the let's rinse, wash, and repeat again now because and everyone loved. I won't say everyone, but most people loved Henry Cavill as Superman. Like he was the epitome of what people imagined Superman would look like. So you go from that, you have the ups and downs of the Justice League and all that, and I think people are just done overall. I'm in that boat for sure of DC and Marvel. Like just stop for a while.
And I do think it is
Give us a
part
break.
superhero because you also had. I mean, now I know Minecraft did a lot of money. It was a meme and stuff, but Sinners did really good in the box office.
Sinners was also in in theaters for like 2 months.
yeah, so Superman.
Because remember, you said
Superman's
just
still
Sinners.
in theaters.
No, it's not. It's streaming now.
No,
They did both.
Yeah,
They just had a weekend last weekend. It did good.
one thing you have to think of is Man of Steel was like in theaters for like 6 months. Also,
Yeah,
but with Superman, the reason why they took it off of theaters
but
so
now
fast
that
was
it's on streaming, you're gonna get even less people going to the theaters because you can just go watch it online.
But yeah, the reason why they took it out of the theaters so fast and put it on streaming is because the new Peacemaker season kind of correlates with the new Superman movie. So James Gunn wanted the people to understand the Peacemaker season 2. So you would have to watch Superman before you watch Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, I don't know because you still had, like I said, you had Sinners did really
Once
good.
again,
Minecraft did
Sinners
really
did
good.
not do good
But
first week.
No,
be
it
fair-
built up over time.
To be
But
fair,
that's what he's saying. Superman was in box office for 6 months to grow. Superman was in for a month before it hit streaming.
And that's the studio's fault. They left. They
Yeah.
decided to end it early.
But I would say
so-
Superman did well enough that we're gonna see more DC projects coming out.
I feel like for
That's
the
the
time
sad
it was
thing.
in, I feel like the
Tim's not happy.
That's
well,
sad.
and
I'm like,
honestly,
be done.
I don't think because I think the Batman 2022 did really good too as well. I thought.
I mean, how was this actor as Superman?
He was really good.
He was
actually.
really good.
So,
I did not watch the
so how do you
movie.
think he'll interact with Robert Pattinson's
They're not
Batman?
the same universe.
And that's the other thing.
Completely different
DC's so
universe.
Oh,
convoluted.
is that?
Yeah. Matt Reeves' Batman is in a separate thing. James Gunn is going to make a new Batman that's going to be called
Oh.
Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But we are-
It just needs to end.
We
It
are
just end.
we are still getting another Matt Reeves Batman, so we're gonna get two separate Batman universes.
I do think.
No, we're in the comic world now.
I do think.
A universe here,
This
universe
is where
there.
this is where movies that are original IPs are actually really doing well.
The reason why
Well,
I do
no,
think
because
that,
Mickey 17 didn't do good.
the reason why I do think
but
that
people said the movie was
Superman-
good. It just didn't do good in box office.
yeah, I think
And
it just
neither
depends.
did. There was another movie.
But
that
that's
also,
the thing is now you don't have to count on the box office to be the deciding factor if a movie's going to be big. That's just one piece. Now you have the streaming.
I'm sorry,
factor.
One Piece? Are we going to find the One Piece?
No.
A One Piece.
well, honestly, K-pop Demon Hunters. That came.
I
through
refuse to
streaming.
watch it.
That
Will
came,
not watch
and that
it.
has been really big.
You're gonna just
And then it went to box office and then beat everything else out. I thought.
yeah. Well,
But
Netflix
it's so
doesn't put
bad
out
that
official
like
numbers.
I have dreams with the stupid song in my head. I'm like, why?
Also,
If you watch it, it's
it's
way
a
worse.
kids movie.
Oh yeah,
So
you're
no
gonna get
wonder
George,
why.
did you watch it?
But
No.
it's still
Minecraft,
after-
But all these guys do is glaze it all the time.
because it's a good movie.
it was a good movie.
You need a glazed donut.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
just point out that George's notes for this specific topic is please stop glazing K-pop Demon
Yeah.
Hunters.
Yes, because I'm tired of hearing these guys talk about it all
It's
the
a
time.
really good movie though. It's actually really good.
Yeah, because you have 5-year-old brain and you
That's
like
all
it
I
that
hear
much
from
because it is
Aaron.
dedicated to the kid
watch it.
audience.
Dude.
Hey, the music was sitting in top. It beat BTS and like every other K-pop because kids are listening to it.
DJ.
As you can tell, George still hasn't watched it.
Neither
But
have
okay, I think we're gonna wrap up this episode. So this was episode 1 of the Bricked BIOS podcast. So your host Jacob, and then once again we also have Josh, George, Tim, and beautiful Isaac here. We'll be doing all the episodes. We don't know if we'll have guests or not, but yeah, we'll definitely see you guys in episode 2.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
for
for
tuning in.
Thanks for
Yeah,
listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.